Imagine you're in a room full of founders and nobody is pitching. No investor to impress, no pressure to sell, just conversation between people who are building something. And that room is real and it is called e-Cafe. It is already in cities across India from Delhi to Bhilai and it is run by locals who understand their community. And today we have a special guest who has played a crucial role in scaling up this vision from the ground up. And she is Dr. Shikha Dhawan. Shikha ma'am, welcome to Big Story Podcast. And I would like to thank you for giving your time here. And before we go ahead, can you please tell us about e-Cafe, the objective of this community, and what has happened over the last 4 to 5 years?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ketan, and thank you to Big Story for having me here today. I'm Dr. Shikha Dhawan. I'm Executive Director at Entrepreneurs Cafe. The short form is e-Cafe. And life has been very exciting here. For the past few years, when I joined Entrepreneurs Cafe, I had the key task to enhance the community, add city mayors, and support budding entrepreneurs. So when I joined e-Cafe, there were 25 city mayors, and now we are at a strength of 111 city mayors across 5 continents. So each city mayor is building their own community of entrepreneurs, and approximately each city mayor would have a community of 500 to 1,000 plus. It's a very thriving ecosystem for entrepreneurs to network, join, and they have a safe space to understand what entrepreneurship is all about. They are given a platform to network, and our ethos is we never ask what stage you are or how much revenue you're making. We always ask, how can we help you?
Right. So, ma'am, like you've said, like it's been 6 months since you have joined.
A year.
A year. Okay.
Full year by now.
Okay. So it's been 1 full year since you have joined e-Cafe, Entrepreneur Cafe. I've seen that number of people joining Entrepreneur Cafe as a community has increased. What has been the strategy to make this thing as a widespread connectivity? And also, what would you like to also tell the people about how to think about expanding a community?
So, as per the directive of the founder, Dr. Nikhil Agarwal, we invested in building the community, and to join the community, there is no cost.
Right.
So this is something which people find attractive. So we have fellows who are actually still thinking to be entrepreneurs. Very young people, we have got them very young from universities, colleges, and also people who are successful entrepreneurs. We actually have a tagline that you won't even know that if you're sipping coffee next to an investor. So the good thing about the community is when we meet second Thursday of every month globally. So that time is 6 to 7:30 p.m. Same time frame. Actually, I was talking about this today at a meeting, and they told us, so you're raising the collective energy by 111 chapters meeting at the same time globally. Yes. So yeah, that's also a good way to put it. People find safe space to be with us, and like they might be sipping coffee next to an investor, next to a funder. They get answers to their questions, and whenever we hold these meetings, we find people finding co-founders, finding co-working space, for solving a simple problem just like GST, as simple as how to get registered on a platform like Udyam for MSMEs, something as simple as how to get incubated.
Right.
So all these queries and curiosity which they come up with, so we have a lot of experts among us who are more than welcome, who would otherwise be charging money as consultants to answer these queries.
Right.
So this is the strength of the community. People come, we have a cup of coffee, which we buy on our own, because that's the ethos, though the community is free to join, but people are requested and nudged actually to buy their own coffee, because free things don't last for long. So we encourage them to buy their own coffee, sit around in a casual environment, talk to other entrepreneurs, the person sitting next to them. The model is they introduce themselves, and then we have 101 depending on who caught our fancy.
Right.
So it's a very informal way to connect, though we try to structure it also in a way by inviting some subject matter experts, something like an expert wants to talk on Bitcoin. Somebody wants to talk about registration on Udyam Foundation. And somebody would like to even talk about some GTM strategies, sales. Finance is the key thing people want to know. We also take sessions on regulatory frameworks. So depending on what the interest of the community is, we try to have some structured content also in the meeting.
Right.
But more or less in this 1.5 hour, we could say we spend time on introductions. There are some sessions from specialists, and then people network among themselves over a cup of coffee or whatever food they want to enjoy. So very cordial, very relaxed environment to discuss entrepreneurship. That's what we bring to the table.
Right. Ma'am, I like to congratulate that right now you have also entered Canada and you have a mayor there as well. So
Yes.
I see that you are rapidly expanding across continents, and I think Entrepreneur Cafe has been doing it for a while as well. What do you think are very good qualities when it comes to being a mayor, and what would you also consider as qualities in leadership that every startup in your community should also understand and know about, since you have been interacting with a lot of startups over the time?
So what we look for in a mayor is, because I've recruited almost 75 plus of them,
Yes.
what I would look for in them is a charisma,
Right.
an aura to be a people's person.
Right.
Because that's what attracts people to their community. Because I may be managing the New Delhi chapter,
Right.
but then I would have a mayor sitting at Kannur.
Right.
I would have a mayor sitting in Jammu.
Right.
So is the aura to draw people out, give the comfort to people to talk. That's the key thing. We recruit them, and they may not be a part of incubation system themselves, but they are entrepreneurs in one way or the other. They are successful businessmen. They have been leading something like, we have a city mayor from Ahmedabad. She's a very successful business woman who makes jewelry.
Right.
And does training with the government of India to empower women in rural areas. So a lot of strength we have seen in the city mayors. The key thing is, will they be able to run a community? Will they be able to hold the people together in these monthly meetings? So it's a wonderful community that we have built up, especially through our very elegant, powerful city mayors. So each one of them is unique in their way. They bring different strengths to the table. And with Dr. Nikhil Agarwal and myself, we have been able to leverage their strength because we both have the capability to bring out the best in people. So, ma'am, I think you have gone through, I know that you have gone through a lot of startups, lot of founders, you have met them all. What would you say to somebody who's looking forward to start a startup and also looking forward to, who's already an entrepreneur, to join eCafe? What would you tell the person to convince and be a part of Entrepreneur Cafe? For Ketan, we have recently launched the Entrepreneurs Cafe Academy. Right. And we want to nurture them from the beginning. Right. Because there are people who keep asking us how to start an enterprise. Right. What are the unmet needs? So telling them how to find these unmet needs, because they could be with regards to society, legal, ending poverty for the world, or health, or agriculture. So based on their interests, we would like to guide them to actually select the idea that has the capacity to change the world going further. And we also have startups at different stages of growth. So we tell them, if you are in technology readiness level 1 to 4, we first of all help them frame out before the technology readiness level, where their idea is just developing, and handhold them through different technology readiness level. If it's 1 to 4, the best thing is to tell them to go for friends, families, and whosoever they can influence, or angels, to get funded their idea if they need money. And at the same time, we also tell them being bootstrapped is good, because if you don't invest money in your startup, how do you expect others to put money in you? Right. So this is what we told them. There's a lot of conducive support from the government of India. There are a lot of state-specific grants also from each state. We guide them towards how to apply these grants. And then when they move beyond technology readiness level 4 and above, we are hand-holding them at all different aspects, telling them how to get market fitness and how to grow. Sometimes I see in pitch, people stop at GTM strategies. So we also have to tell them having a GTM on the pitch deck is fine, but sales is a different ballgame altogether. Right. So we handhold them in actually making sales and tell them having a repeat customer is the success of your enterprise. Right. So when people are with us, like we are mentoring them through the eCafe Academy, starting from the unmet need to how to scale, grow, get funded, these are the key areas we touch upon. Right. Another interesting thing was, which is slightly debatable, we brought upon a new topic, something like, is astrology also relevant for entrepreneurs? So that was something which I have not heard in this ecosystem. As Indians, we believe in Vedic tech. We think that stars hold our destiny. Right. So yes, why not? So this is a microbiologist during the boot camp. She is going to talk about astrology. So it's a scientific person talking about about how astrology can affect entrepreneurship or can mold entrepreneurship. So that is something new everybody should look forward to. Not getting people in the trap that they should believe in fate and destiny or luck, but why not explore if the signs are conducive for you to grow and to start a new venture. People do refer to astrologers before starting a new venture.
Yes.
Did not hear it for entrepreneurs or startups. So I thought that would be exciting to start talking about how astrology affects entrepreneurship.
It's quite interesting that there are a lot of interesting conversations happening inside Entrepreneur Cafe as a community. How are like Gen Z these days? They're completely about AI. They're mad about AI. They're like Claude, Gemini, and all of it. How entrepreneurs are taking up AI?
So for that, I would say Gen Z is very smart.
Yeah.
We have been hard workers all our life, but Gen Z knows how to do a work faster and smarter.
Right.
So we come across a lot of them adopting AI in different aspects of their work, in different portfolios which they are undertaking. So it's really enthralling to see them talk about AI, different aspects which can help in automation, agentic AI. We keep hearing all of them talking about, oh, this is the problem statement we want to solve, and we have agentic AI which is going to fast track work efficiency and get answers better. Very, I would say, very futuristic.
Yeah.
The AI technology is here. It's not something we have to look forward to. And glad to see we are also moved on to agentic AI and its application. But having said that, what would we really want to see is something new in AI coming up from India.
Right.
So why not the coders from India design the AI, open AI, all these platforms, something like what Google AI is doing.
Right.
Why can't India do that? So that is something we would want to look forward to.
I'm sure the audience watching this would actually think about it and also present up some solutions. And if they join Entrepreneur Cafe and then discuss it, it'll be even better.
Sure.
Yeah. So you see that a lot of women, like let's say if you were in the position of making a change and all the authority, what would you do? Because you're an entrepreneur and you're also a mentor as well. And you have seen this journey for a very long time. You have seen a lot of startups as well. What are the set of decisions that you would take to make women entrepreneurship even more? Like you have 20% right now, like you said, it could go up to 30 or 50. So what would you do?
So something like for women entrepreneurs, they need more exposure.
Right.
They need to get off of the mind frame that their house is not being taken care of. So a work-life balance is the key thing. And if we give them all that support, so I'm sure women bring different skill sets and they can be asset to a company or an enterprise. And yeah.
Right. Okay. That was a pretty good idea. Okay. So coming back to sustainability right now, there are a lot of startups and also government policies that is pushing towards bringing sustainable development and also waste management schemes through which government is like you can earn through this. What are the startups that are joining eCafe right now, and are they bringing a bunch of solutions that can be proposed to other startups as well?
Okay, so I'll answer this in a different way, Ketan. We have a lot of startups who have been funded through CSR.
Okay.
So our main focus is also to relate CSR, ESG and sustainable development goals. So when you talk about sustainability, sustainable development goals, CSR and ESG, there's a very beautiful framework which get aligned throughout for entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And this is what we bring on the table. We tell them that sustainability is not an afterthought. It should be baked during conceptualization itself.
Right.
So they are CSR funded, so they need a social angle also. They need to be considering the environment aspects also, and they should be transparent in their governance, ethical operations, because what is real is relatable.
Right.
You may want to portray awards and all those front on social media, but after some time when the public noise dies, what you are should come forth, and that is your passion, your storytelling, and that brings people back to you always. So that's what I said, a repeat customer is always an indicator of a success. So if you identify your core value as being environment sustainable, so then it should show in your operations. It should show in your policies. It shows in your workplace governance. You should be transparent about your operations, and why not go ahead and get a ESG score also done. Currently it's not too widely publicized, only for the top 1,000 companies they need to do, but it's going to catch up soon if we are going to target the net zero goal of 2070. So we see it as our responsibility to teach the people in our community that build sustainability from day one.
Right. That was actually very insightful, and I agree with you completely in that matter. So yes, ma'am. So another question that I had again was regarding the environment also, right? So there are bunch of startups that are definitely looking into. So there are a lot of startups in Hyderabad, Pune, and in Chennai as well. They're based from IIT and all of them, and they are currently working on solutions that would require clean energy to build propulsion systems and also energy systems, right? So let's say these startups are there and you have a very big community. What would you tell them to join eCafe?
So they're already on the path of sustainability.
Right.
So we could take their idea forward. Like, I'll tell you something very interesting. I was sitting at a meeting on climate tech,
Right.
and they were asking, why do we invest in ACs for each household and each and every room?
Right.
That was a very important problem statement.
Right.
So his startup was around, like in hotels and in other buildings, if you have a central air conditioning, a central heating,
Right.
why can't we have this for societies?
Right.
You know, that is the kind of conversation and dialogue we bring forth to the table, what they're already doing. If they are mentorable enough, we can tell them how to do it better, how to adopt sustainability better. And there's also one more interesting thing, Ketan, you especially talked about these startups who are working in these zones. The governments are also supporting urban resilience, green cities, green infrastructure. So they keep floating these requests for proposals where they're looking for entrepreneurs that solve such solutions. Something like there was a request from Karnataka. They wanted to clean the waste water and clogged drains. You know, it keeps adding up. So there was a hackathon I attended. This was actually not eCafe, but eCafe was a partner to this event. So Parivartan it was called, and they had people and entrepreneurs who had these drones with camera vision, and they were tracking where these drains are clogged.
Okay.
So it was as simple as that. The government wanted it, and there were drones companies which were there to solve the problem. And another problem in waste management we come across is that though we have encouraged segregation at source, but then are they getting segregated actually, or they are getting dumped together again in a landfill?
All right.
So there are people and startups who have brought solutions to segregate at source.
All right.
So management of waste is a big problem, and very glad to know that startups are coming with solutions. We have a city mayor who is actually converting agri waste to bioplastics from Punjab.
Wow.
So I use this as a case study to talk that how sustainability could be friendly to the environment, because northern India is burning because of burning of stubble.
Right.
So this is the problem statement I discuss with all the young entrepreneurs, how to solve stubble burning in northern part of the country.
Right.
So then these solutions come up that convert them into bioplastic, and this startup, he has found 3 big payers.
Right.
The people who pay for this bioplastics. So, you know, successful, he actually spent a lot of time to develop his product and developing who would be the end customer.
Okay.
So very thoroughly he did his customer persona, because currently the EU markets are more conscious with regards to ESG and carbon rating and carbon emissions.
Right.
But having a startup in our community who is cognizant of the fact that carbon emission needs to be reduced, stubble burning can be prevented by taking the stubble from these farmers and converting it to bioplastics. So this is the power we bring to the community, and we do immersive sessions where people who are already into sustainability have set a good example to come and talk to other entrepreneurs about it. So this is how people learn, by seeing what others have done, and they would want to replicate such things in their operations.
Right. Ma'am, that's brilliant actually, and I would actually love to interact with that startup and also the founder, because I consider it to be a very unique idea, and the way of the delivery has been happening, I think we should talk.
Sure.
Ma'am, one last question before we end this podcast is that you have come across a bunch of startups and also founders. What would you consider as one wonderful story which you could share here that showcases the spirit of eCafe?
Okay, so for eCafe, each of the startup working with us is unique.
Yeah.
I told you the story of Circulo. I can not name one of them, that would be too biased. Having a favorite should not be done.
Yes.
So they all are special in their way. It's really difficult to tell my favorite. So let me give a pause there. So we have startup, the city mayor from Ghaziabad into digital marketing, selling GI based namkeen from Ratlam.
Right.
So she's quite close to my heart. You're making it difficult for me, Ketan, to pinpoint people. So there's our city mayor from Gurugram, Vibhuti. She is a partner in an investment firm. So we are building e-cafe, talking about growth, helping startups. The best thing about each and every one of my city mayor, now these I am just came to my mind first, so I won't say others are not good. So I was just still stuck in NCR kind of. But to say each one of our city mayor is unique, they bring strength. And the entrepreneurship they are into being sustainable, being setting examples for others to follow, has been very exemplary for the community to help and grow and learn from each other's mistakes. So not doing the same mistakes is growing, which we invite them to talk about what did not work. Because, everywhere it's flooded with what worked.
Right.
It's also important to talk about what did not work.
Right.
So this is what the mayors also encourage each other in their community to talk what did not work.
Right.
So that people make new mistakes, but we learn from each other's mistakes.
Right. Ma'am, what do you think about Big Story Network, ma'am?
So Big Story as a media partner, as a network, has been very inclusive in its approach. They see everything with regards to gender lens, and they ensure nobody is left out, and they cover what all is happening around with sincerity and bring it out the way it should be as a true media agency.
Shikha ma'am, thank you for your time. And we are really grateful for you being here and presenting the answers in a very good way. Looking forward to having another conversation with you very soon regarding e-cafe and also a bunch of stuff.
Thank you, Ketan, for the conversation and having me at the Big Story podcast. I really enjoyed our conversations. Thank you.
Thank you.